How's it going, everybody? We got a new video for you today, but today is going to be a little bit different than most of our usual content. And we simply just wanted to recap 2024 as it is the end of the year and 2025 is literally next week, which is crazy to think about. But you feel like there's a lot of things that were amazing this year. There's a lot of things that were challenging this year. And we just wanted to sit down and talk about some of those things together and recap some of that. And also talk a little bit about what we're excited for in the new year.
Yeah, I think it's just like a end of the year. I think it's just such a cool time to be able to, yes, like be excited for what's ahead, but also reflect how far we've come in this past year. And there's obviously so many highlights from the Mean Train community that we just wanted to like sit down and reminisce a little bit. I think it's good to be able to, just be able to think back of like the things we learned from, and also how is that preparing us for what's in front of us. So let's start off. First and foremost, I want to hear, Hannah, what is your favorite Mean Train memory from 2024?
I think I had a few, but if I had to pick just one big one, I think for me, my favorite memory from 2024 was the 5K that we partnered with Fight Story for, the Train for Your Brain 5K. And that was my favorite for a few reasons. One, it was the first time we ever were able to do an in-person event for Train for Your Brain. Train for Your Brain is our promotion we do every May in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, and we have done it since 2021, where we do free online personal training for anyone that signs up in the month of May to get their first month completely for free. And so that's something we're super passionate about. Obviously, we've shared a little bit of our stories with mental health and just why that's so important to us. But this year was exciting because we were able to put on an in-person event, which we haven't really been able to do in years past. It's something we've talked about, but we've never been able to do. This year, we pulled it off, and we were able to partner with a really amazing nonprofit organization, Fight Story. And it was just such a cool day. Just like, that was objectively, May was our craziest month. Like, we were stressed a lot.
Just put it lightly, yes.
Between us and April, just like maxing out all capacities. But it was honestly just like, in hindsight, it was just something that was so cool, and I'm so grateful we got to do it, and I'm so grateful for the connections and the community that it opened up to. I feel like that was really a special event because it allowed us to all be together and come together for this cause that so many people are passionate about. And it encompassed more than just Ricky and myself and Mean Training. Even it expanded to people that don't even necessarily train with us, but they really identify with the message of Train for Your Brain. It opened it up to the community from Fight Story, of the people that partner with them and that support them. And so it was just such a cool event, and I feel like that's something that I'm always gonna remember and cherish, and it's gonna be a very fond memory for me in the years to come. And I'm excited to do it again in 2025, hopefully bigger and better. But this year, having it be the first one was my favorite memory.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
What about you?
I definitely, for me, it's like a 1A, 1B. 1A was also the 5K. I mean, for a lot of reasons, everything you just said, I think you summed it up perfectly. For me also, I feel like that event, it was just like this culmination of community, Mean Training, Mental Health Awareness Month, and also this passion of mine for running, right? It was like this culmination of all those things together. And I think in the residuals from that event too, like we were able to develop some really special friendships. I think the thing that I look back on that, and that was the beginning of such an amazing friendship with Bruno and Angela from Fight Story, and just that ongoing relationship we have with them, and then hoping to do more things with them in the future. The other one, my 1B, though, was the one that just happened, the Honolulu Marathon training. Just the whole thing as a whole, like of just dreaming it up to, like, I still have it in my notebook of like the pages of, the marathon training plan, 20-week plan. This is what I would like it to look look to be, because I've trained, myself, I've trained other individuals for marathons and Ironmans and other events, but to have a team of people, this is my first time doing this. And it went from being something that was just a dream in my head to an actualization where everyone was able to go and cross the finish line this past December. And just seeing that whole journey of people who, yeah, maybe some of them have ran before, but some who have never considered themselves runners, some people who've like never even thought to be someone who could do a marathon, to then see them, the hesitation, the doubts, the hard work, the consistency, and then to see it all pay off in December was just like, as a coach, like one of the most gratifying experiences of my life. And again, we don't do that in like the running space too. That's been something that's so meaningful to me. And then now seeing some of those runners kind of get the same bug I did, and it's like, now it's just like, all right, now like we got to do another one. We got to do this again. And again, same thing, like it's something I hope we can continue to do bigger and better next year in 2025. But yeah, it was so special because I just had so much pride in each runner, just seeing like that one-on-one relationship I got to build with each runner on the team, and see like their struggles. And just every time seeing one of them, the next person cross that finish line, the next one pass the finish line. Every time I was thinking, watching them like run that final 100 meters across the line, I was thinking like, I remember having that conversation with you when you were scared to do the 10-mile run, and when you like had doubts because of like some nagging, ankle pain, or you didn't know like what you should be doing for fueling. And just seeing like that, like team across the finish line was just like the culmination of so much of what they overcame individually to get that medal. And to me, that was like, dude, like it was such a like, yeah, just I couldn't be more proud of all those runners, and that whole team's gonna have a special place in my heart forever. It was awesome.
I think it's cool because this year feels like the year that we really went all in on community.
Yeah.
I think we always prioritized it ever since we started, and that's something that I'm really proud of. And I think that makes Mean Training different is we have always prioritized community, even when it was just online. It was something we always like really strove for. But I think this year was special because it was really the year that we were able to bring so many of those ideas to life. Like we finally had the ability to make those things happen and to create that community, and it's been beautiful to watch, and it's just naturally growing, and that's really exciting. And I think that's something that, yeah, I know both of us are super passionate about, so I'm excited to do more of that in the new year.
Yeah, I can't agree more. What is something you feel like is the biggest lesson you learned from 2024? In a year that felt like full of lessons.
A lot of lessons.
A lot of lessons. Hard lessons.
My biggest lesson from 2024 is to listen to your gut, especially when it comes to people. I think there is a lot of moments this year that we grew a ton in 2024, which is exciting and amazing. But, when you're growing, when you're expanding, when you're scaling, you also have to kind of make these quick decisions, and you have to jump into things. And sometimes you don't have the opportunity to make like a good, like fully formed pros and cons, best case, worst case kind of analysis, which is what I like to do because I am incredibly type A, and Ricky is the one that likes taking risks. I like taking calculated risks. And by calculated, I mean I like to overturn every other possible solution or problem that might come of it. But that doesn't happen all the time when you're growing a business, and especially when you're a small business and when you just kind of got to go. And so I think this year really taught me that I can't always rely on facts and data. I have to just purely trust my gut instinct. And I do like to think I have a pretty good gut.
You have an exceptional gut.
But this year, I feel like I didn't listen to it in some instances that I know I should have. And that played out the way that I probably initially like felt it was going to. But we kind of just were like, there's like no like big red flags. There's no like tangible reasons why we shouldn't do this or why we shouldn't work with this person or why we should pursue other options. There is no like big tangible signs.
Immediate danger.
No immediate danger, but
We
the
saw
gut instinct was
you saw it was going to come down the road.
Yeah.
Whether it be 5 months, 6 months, a year down the road, like it was inevitable.
Yeah. So I think for me, that was the biggest lesson. And I'm very thankful for it because I think we dodged a bullet in a lot of ways by learning that and by having that conversation now with each other of being like, okay, what did we learn from these experiences? And that's going to be able to protect us in the future because those were thankfully not giant mistakes that's going to like be the end of us. They were painful. They weren't fun, but they were small enough lessons to be used to help us in the future. So I am thankful that we learned that this year, that I feel like we both had personal experiences with that. And I do plan to really pay attention to that more often because, again, I do think that you have bit instinct for a reason. I think that God gives you discernment, and I think that it's something that you have to use, especially when you're a lean business, when you're a small business. You don't have the resources or the time usually to do a full analysis of things. You just have to go through that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
How about you?
For me, it's something that I've been reflecting about a lot. I think there's a lot of things that kind of culminate into this, and it's more so because of different areas of whether it be in business, our personal lives, our personal like fitness endeavors, working with clients, and takes more than the thing we've always said is like, I like the idea of like the work has to match the want, right? Whereas like, if you want to do something, the work has to match that want. But like for me now, it's like even a step deeper where it's not, want isn't enough. It's like there needs to be like conviction behind those desires. Like you're not going to accomplish anything meaningful if you're not convicted to do so. I don't think it's enough to just have this sensation of like, I want that. I think that'd be nice. That'd be fun, but it's like this deep rooted, like primal, like instinct that's like, I need to like be all in if I need to get this done. I think because it's just something that conversations over this year, and there's no big particular one, but it feels like a lot of conversation this year revolved around that of like, people ask like, oh, how'd you guys do, how'd you become a state record holder powerlifter? How'd you, running marathons seems hard and this and that. Running a business seems hard. Growing a business seems hard. Doing even things that we have like in our, our personal lives of like developing our home and wanting to do those things. Like, yeah, all those things are hard. And these are all things I think a lot of people like want, whether it be not those things specifically, but people want to accomplish things. People have dreams and aspirations. And sometimes it like baffles me where I think a lot of people almost like cut themselves off at the knees by just wanting these things, but not having like conviction to follow them through.
What do you think conviction means? Like, how would you differentiate conviction between wanting something? Because I think for a lot of people, they look at it the same way. So what do you mean by conviction?
I think for me, conviction is, again, especially of like someone of faith, like in the Christian walk, like when I think of conviction, it's like this metamorphosis you almost go through. It's like not just, the desire isn't just something that you have, but it's something that tangibly changes who you are and the actions you take. So I think wanting something is this like ethereal like desire, but conviction leads to action. And if without conviction, wants are just dreams. But with conviction, wants become action. And I think at the end of the day, like actions is what allows us to start stepping towards those goals and aspirations, right? And as long as you're just wanting them, you might never take that first step. And conviction doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be easy. Like the likelihood is going to be very hard. But if you don't have conviction, even then when it does get hard, you're not going to follow through. Because I think a lot of things that you want, you're just going to fall off to the side of the road eventually. especially when it gets hard, especially when it takes a long time to do something. But if you have this like, and I think of it like with, I don't know how to describe it. Like even when we started me training, I feel like, I think you could attest to this. Like I had a conviction about like what this could be, and I feel like we're still in the early stages of that. But you know, we took some like crazy chances early on to be where we are today, and there was no rhyme or reason behind, you know, like why I felt that way. But I had a conviction about what mean training could be and what we could build together. And I feel the same way about, you know, running the races I do and building the life we do together. And I see the same thing in you and your eyes when you're chasing these, you know, when you talk to me about like your goals you're setting for yourself for powerlifting. Like when you look at me and you tell me I want to do X, there's like, it's not just a thing that you want to do. It's like there's this deep conviction in your heart. Like I know I can, I will. It's like an inevitability, the way you say it.
I think it also like ties in with the gut instinct too, right?
Totally. Yeah.
I think it's so hard to describe because it's like such a,
It sounds so woo-woo.
it sounds so woo woo and so like intangible, but it's like the best way I can describe it is like you just know. Like I don't know how it's like when we first started dating, I was like, I know I'm gonna marry this person. I can't explain to you why. I can't like give you any tactile reasons of why I feel this way, but I just know that's what's gonna happen. Same thing with partnering with Angela for Fight Stories.
Yeah, totally.
Like that whole thing was like I woke up, like literally the way that happened, I'm not even joking. This sounds so woo and so crazy. I don't even know if I've ever told Angela this, but I woke up one day, I had a dream about partnering with them. I woke up and I like wrote out partner with Angela Lee for something to do with mental health awareness. And I was like, that was it. I didn't know why or like what it was or what we should be doing with them. But I just like had this conviction, you know, like that gut instinct of like, this is what we should be doing. And that's transported us to having, again, an amazing event, to partnering with them, to bringing awareness to both of our causes, but also to a beautiful friendship and relationship with them.
Totally.
And so, yeah, I think there are just like these moments and these circumstances in your life, and there's people also, I think, that you meet and you just know. You're like, that gut instinct kicks in, and it's either like this person is dangerous or this person is going to be a part of your future. And I think that's something that's so hard to quantify, but it's so real. And like the same thing with setting goals for yourself, right? So you can see it. You're like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know if this is possible. I don't know if this is safe, but I know I'm going to do this because that's just like what's in my heart and what I'm being told that I should do.
Yeah. I just don't think anyone who's ever dared to do something great did so without conviction. And I think that's the only way I can describe it. I don't think Kobe Bryant set out to be the world's best basketball player without truly feeling in his heart that he can and needs to do this. I don't think Ernest Shackleton didn't like go to the South Pole or attempt to go to the South Pole, you know, knowing fully well the dangers and the how long it was going to take and how cold it was going to be and how daring it was going to be without a little bit of conviction. And I think even in our small ways, yeah, it's like if you have that conviction or if you have like that gut instinct to say like, I need to do this thing, I need to pursue this thing, I need to like go and meet with this person, I think you should follow that and see it through and at least like try daringly and fail daringly, you know, in the worst case scenario. But like, I don't know, just
What do you have to lose?
what do you have to lose,
Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I think I 100% agree with that.
yeah, dude, it's pretty sick. And it's really, yeah, there's just so much stuff as far as like that this year to take away from this year. And as we continue to unpack it, I'm sure there's more things that'll come up, but I really like that. I guess then what is something for 2025 now that you're really looking forward to?
There's a lot of things that I don't think I can say
Yeah.
yet,
Not yet. TBD.
but there's some fun things coming.
There's a lot of fun things. There's a
Fun things.
ton of fun things coming. Yeah.
I will say, okay, I'll just say something personally. I am very excited to go to nationals in the summer, and I'm speaking it into existence. My goal for nationals in 2025 is I want to win my weight class. So that's the goal. We're going to say it. We're going to bet the house.
At the house.
Just go for it.
Burn the boats
Burn the boats, baby.
now.
How about you?
For me, I think like the general like I think because there are so many like exciting things around the horizon that we can't like share too many details about yet. We have to like still something need to settle into place. But I think the overall sentiment in 2025 is like I'm excited to continue to fall deeper in love with the process of building this business. I've been loving coaching more and more every day. Feel like we've been able to work with some amazing people.
This guy has been getting up at 4 a.m. to go train people at 5. And then he comes home at like 7 p.m. and is like hacked.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. It's just like
Like,
14 straight hours of just like pure working, and it's just exciting. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like I've been really, my workload has been getting bigger and bigger, and I've been squeezing more and more in. And like I have like an hour block between 2 training sessions in the afternoon, and I'll like go out like as soon as I finish the session, I change, I go out for a run, and I have to run fast to get my mile in to get back in time for my next session. And I just like I love it, you know. So it's like the sensation of falling deeper in love with the process of those things that I really enjoy doing, like running, like training, building amazing relationships of the people that we have in our life right now, and just like those sentiment. But if we could be more specific, and maybe this is the time I finally like announce it to the Me Train family, but we still got.
or he's pregnant.
Good job. Are you proud of that? Yeah. In March, for my birthday, I'm planning to run 50 miles across the island. We still have to lock down a lot of logistics for this, but that is my next big running specific goal. Is I'm going to be starting on the east side of the island, finishing on the west side. Give or take, it'd be about 50 miles, and doing it for my 30th birthday. Do it with some of my good friends. Try to do it for a good cause. And yeah, same thing, just putting it out there. It's another thing where it's like a daunting task, biggest distance I'll have to cover in a single run. But I think it'll be a ton of fun. And yeah, it's one of those things that I was like, yeah, it's scary. There's a lot of uncertainty about it, but there's just conviction behind it. As soon as I heard about it and like the idea of doing it, it's like, yeah, we got to do that. Be completely aided. It's not like an official race. It's just Hannah's gonna be in a van with some people following me along the road, and I'll be running across the island.
Remember, I'm also running 5 miles.
She got 5 miles. She pace me.
Let it be known.
Let it be known.
I will be running 5 miles.
Yep.
That was an accomplishment for me.
The last 5.
The last 5. So it'll be significantly slower, which is great.
That's good.
It's necessary, obviously.
I'll be 45 miles deep.
Yes, correct. He'll probably still look better at the end of it than I will, though.
So yes, sir. So yeah, those are like two very like again two big things that are gonna be happening in 2025, especially in our personal fitness endeavors. But I think the overall sentiment is just like, yeah, we're 2025. There's no difference just because of New Year's. Like we're continuing to like push the boundaries in our own fitness, push the boundaries in our business, and I don't know, just continue to keep showing up and be consistent in what we're doing, because it's been an awesome ride so far.
Truly. And if you guys have any stories that you want to share from this past year, or goals that you have for 2025. Again, we're not big on New Year's resolutions, but we are big on consistently setting goals and then auditing them. And I think that's really the way that we approach the new year is we audit the goals that we set for ourselves at the beginning of 2024. What did we accomplish? How were we successful? What didn't we accomplish? Why weren't we successful? Or do we just need more time? And then taking that into the new year of carrying some of those goals forward or adjusting them or setting the bar higher. So I think that goal setting is so important and so valuable, not just at the end of the year, but throughout the year. So if you guys have goals for yourself in 2025, fitness or otherwise, business, personal, we'd love to hear about them. Please let us know, send us a DM or just hit us up. We always love hearing about goals and any way we might be able to help you with that. And 2025 is going to be a good year.
It'd be a great year.
I can feel it. I have a conviction. That's going to be a great year.
I love it. And be sure to subscribe because another big thing for me training at least is that we're trying to hope to dive deeper into the world of YouTube in 2025. So if you like this video and you like to see more of this and see more of us talking about fitness and whatnot, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more in 2025.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!